Love Them Knives channel. LTK here. Hey guys, thanks for stopping in. Let's try and clean the slop off the table because we got class act in the house. Yes, we do. TuyaKnife. And you know, they got a Facebook page, US Sales and Service, all this kind of stuff. And man, I've got lint on it. I got everything. Hey guys, isn't that fancy looking? Look at that thing. TuyaKnife. Incredible. I got these chicane. Remember a while back, and I'll put the link to this review here. So it was one of our viewers that said, have you seen anything on this TuyaKnife deal? And I go, no, you got me cold. Dead cold, dude. T1701. So that's a T1701. It's just chicane. This is a T1702. Wow. Oh my God. It's just like 01 and 02. Whew. That was slick. But this one, I mean, this one's called the chicane. This one's called the Argon. And you know what? I think you need to get one before they are gone. Get it? Argon. Yeah. Good looking knife. I like the pimp. I like the color. It's great, you know, and the collar here really reminds me, you know, of Best Tech. You know what I'm saying? Where they do that thing and the screwdriver mark, you know, does this do that for you? But I did hear that there may be some parts like on the pivot that may be shared with Best Tech, or the manufacturer that makes Best Tech, stuff like that. I don't know. It looks like that to me, which that's a bump, isn't it? Anything with the Best Tech influence around it is making it for me, for sure. And this knife is good. And it's still good after I disassembled it and put it back together. You know, didn't have all that crappy Loctite and goop and crap. And I pulled this apart and it was really clean, actually. No, you know, debris or, you know, schmutz or anything in there. So, wow. And the actions are really good on this knife. It's like a 3.5-inch blade. So it's very, you know, normal EDC type size. Let's see. Fancy. Can we Spidey flick? See this? About the same size as the Para 2. Flip the aspect ratio around. Still, pretty much about the same size. Are we going to review? No, we're not going to review you. Get out of here. And so, of course, our gripster. You can see about the same size, right? So probably around close to 8 inches overall, 3.5-inch blade, and you'd be correct. Yeah, 3.5-inch blade, 90 millimeters overall, 8 3/8, 21 centimeters. Whew. It's about to knock the stand over here. I'm getting excited. See how the pocket clip is? I like the bronze and how it kind of matches up with the center of the scales, and then the back spacer the same way, so you got those contrasting colors and almost a hint of purplish around there. Contrast around the pivot collars, so that dresses it up. Really nice. You don't have any kind of a Torx head or anything in here, so that's really pretty flush and nice, sophisticated. Also, notice the lanyard hole here, which is tubed through the backspacer, because the backspacer wraps around here with this jimps. But see how they milled out this area going backwards so that the paracord or whatever will lay flat and not be on top of the scale, you know? And so it'll let the scale or the knife lay flush. It's nice. Ooh. about 20-25% lockup on this. You can see the over travel stop in here. And of course, it's a hardened steel insert inside here. You know what? There it is. There and the detent ball in there. Let me show you a picture of it deconstructed, because I took it apart just for the heck of it. You know what? Those look like ceramic bearings to me, and a ceramic detent ball too. When you get it out in the light, bare its soul right there. So yeah, and notice, I mean, it looks pretty clean. I mean, you know, and there, of course, there's your washer to go inside the titanium, so that these bearings come in contact with steel. So they mill this area out. Sometimes they do that on the blade, but this is that blade stop area. So, and there's where your stop pin goes, in here and there. So there's your hardened steel insert over travel stop. Here's your, this is your pivot. There's your pivot screw, and the actual decorative ring that goes around this is still in the back side of this. So never fear. And they've skeletonized this out here. Do you think my wife will be pissed that I put all this on her towel? Yikes. Guess I get it. I need to go get myself some nice big shop towels. I used to have a bag of them. I don't know where they are anymore. S35VN, first production run, because I'm a special kind of guy. So Dave Warren, and I'll give you the email address. It's like TuyaKnives.com or something. But in any case, I'll put it in the description section along with the link for his Facebook page. But I mean, this is a slick knife. Really well done. Satin, I mean, stonewash flats, you know, satin grind. And you know what? You've got a choil of sorts here. You can go forward on this. You've got jimping up here. I mean, they're thinking about that. And look at the cutaway for where your finger lands when you flip the knife. So those are all considerations. And where this flipper tab is, kind of going forward, really easy, very intuitive to get a hold of. It's just a handsome looking knife, isn't it? Yeah. Easy to flip. Let's try this. Wow, okay. Detent is better than a 4.5, that's for sure. You know, I would say it's like a 5.5, which is so much similar to like the Best Tech knives. You know, of course I got this one out. But you know, the bearings, those ceramic bearings are so nice. It just, it's not snappy. It's more like a swinging gait, but it's a smooth gait, you know? And this one's very similar to that too. Smooth gait right there. And the grind looks really good. Yeah. Hey, I'm going to do this. I'm not sure I know how to do this, but I'm going to do this because somebody asked. And if I could see through the camera well enough to kind of get maybe the thickness behind the edge here. So there's the edge. And I'm just getting right behind that. I think, what was it, 0.9 or something like that. So these are, what, millimeters? So right in there before it slides off, as you see it coming down. See? Right there. So if that helps, hopefully it does. I don't know. In any case, will it cut? Will it be a knife? Well, will it? Okay. This is really, really sharp. You know, TuyaKnife has the Talisman. I'll put the link. Talisman, Chicane, and now we got the Argon. And going forward. So it'll be interesting to see what comes next. But so far, I really like the Chicane. And then this Argon, this is a very sensible knife. This makes a lot of sense from a design standpoint, it's, you got this front finger choil, okay? You've got room for all your fingers on here. It's comfortable. It's pretty intuitive the way you hold it. You can go forward on this, and sharpening should be a breeze. Okay, so it's sharp, S35VN steel, fine. You've got all these little steps in here, which do add to the texture and grip of the knife. Both sides. So that's some work right there. And you can definitely feel these. That's there. So, it does give you that kind of feel of a grip. It's not real slick. Yeah, I mean, it's normal EDC size. And apparently, well, we saw, if we didn't saw, we can hear where they were saying a little over 4 ounces, obviously almost a 5-inch closed length, 8.4. They said blade length 3.8, but I'd say it's closer to 3.6 maybe. And yes, they do say ceramic bearings. It just seems so much like the best tech knives. It's strange, but it really does to me, which is a great thing. Okay, I'm coming up with 4.7, and maybe I just wasn't reading that. Maybe that's a 4.69. In any case, 4.7 and 134 grams. It's under 5 ounces, and it's a full titanium frame lock. So, I mean, they're skeletonizing the scales, ceramic bearings, ceramic detent, nice lockup, great action, jimping on the flipper tab. The detent's not too strong, but it's definitely not too weak. Good belly for cutting, be great slicer. You've got plenty of blade material for piercing. That's not a problem. They made accommodation for the lanyard to come out there. And nice landing zone for the finger. I'd say, the only thing they didn't do was left hand. And sometimes these knives are, you look at the presentation side of a knife and you go, do I need an extra hole drilled in there? The more work kind of oriented knives or G10-ish things and this and that, where they can do that and kind of get away with it. But, some of them, you just don't want all those holes in there. And so, yeah, I kind of understand that. On the other hand, yeah, you're pushing some of the buyers out of there, but you're not alone. I mean, a vast number of knives are right-hand tip-up only. So don't need a tip-down option. Please spare me from that. But yeah. But really, it's a good-looking knife. Feels pretty light in the hand. The action's really great. Let's see what the drop's like here. Even though, I tore it apart, put it back together, it still functions. There you go. So, hey, how was that? And not a bunch of goopy crap, and Loctite and garbage. You know what? One more thing I was going to say about this, which I was going to point out here. And you can't you can't see it because it's facing the opposite way. But the pivot tube that runs through here, some of them are round and some of them have like a D shape. They got a flat spot that goes through here on that tube. So that it can't move when it's flattened off and it goes up against the inside and, of the blade and stuff. This one is round. So if you did use a bunch of Loctite on here and you want to unscrew this thing someday, you might turn the entire pivot. And then trying to stabilize this while putting pressure on here to break that Loctite loose, that might be something, because you don't have, and I'm going to try and see if, where some knives you have the ability to put a Torx and a Torx, and you can hold one end while you break the other free. But here, that's not the case. So you might want to watch that and make note of that. That's the only thing, is the pivot tube is perfectly round. And so if you really did get a little aggressive with the Loctite, you might be spinning the wheels instead of unscrewing the screw next time you wanted to take it apart. Just an FYI. In other case, I'd say I really have very little, if anything, to complain about on this knife. I like the color. Hey, big, blue, and come on, follow me. Got bearings, right? It's the LTK Special. Sorry, but I'm a sucker for that. But yeah, I mean, it's not that big, but it's not a small knife. Okay, so they're saying 3.8. I'm going to go 3.6, I think. And I don't know, maybe it's a little fuzzy in any case, but yeah, I think they said 3.8. It depends on where you measure. You measure down to here, it's probably 3.8. You measure up here, it's probably 3.5, 3.6. And as you go down here, it gets longer. So yeah, you can make that argument. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people like, I need a choil. Okay, I need an easy way to take the lock bar out of the way, disengage it, and you've got a good pass-through here. That's great. Smooth ceramic bearings, great. Ano, pimped out already. Don't have to spend money on that. Fairly light, under 5 ounces. Sharp. No recurve, no real foibles as far as being able to maintain and sharpen this knife pretty simply. Good quality materials. See if you can complain about this. I'm not sure. I mean, make it in the comments section if you want, but I'm thinking this is just a well thought out knife. Even the landing zone. Even skeletonizing underneath the scales to save weight. And the thought processes behind the lanyard. I mean, and it's tubed, and we got a bit of a backspacer. Help protect the blade a bit from objects. Anytime you can kind of cut down on this area where something could jam through here, you're helping things out a bit. So yeah, fits in the pocket. It's not overly stiff. It's not too, it's not like down here. It's a fairly reasonably deep carry clip, but it's solid. I don't know. I'm and this is not getting in the way. It's not overly crazy or huge duck foot type weird pocket clip, And the more I've been handling this, the more I like it. I really do. It's a looker, that's for sure, and everything about the design really, really good. It's just such a great all-purpose blade shape. Did we check this? I was going to check to see. Well, it's basically almost 4mm blade stock. Okay, so 0.152 of an inch, yeah. So yeah. There you go. You got some blade stock there. And 13.6, 0.53. Yeah, it's about pretty standard EDC size. Enough, not overly thin. Can fill the hand. Yeah, I'm digging it. I like it. It'll be interesting to see what Tuya Knives comes up with. Give Dave a good shout on the Facebook page. Go to message or just put your comment in on their Facebook page. They always got things going on, lively discussions. Also, I'll have the email address. You go, Dave, do you have an argon or are they gone? And he'll hook you up. Good looking. And they come in a nice crush-proof box, you know, with the microfiber cloth and, you know, all those goodies. And get this out of here, this top thing. Okay, so it's a fitted in the plastic with this thing over the top with a microfiber cloth. So that's all good. And, you know, the magnetic closure, click right there. So what do you think? 1702. Not that the 1701 was a problem. I love that design. It's really cool. It's jazzy. So I'm liking what they're doing. I really am. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. Appreciate you coming to hang out with me for a little while. And put your comments in the comment section. I don't know. We'll see what Tuya Knives does going forward. But so far, these two and the Talisman, I'll put the link to my review on the Talisman, which is really the heavy user knife. It's like 65 bucks. So even though these are like 149 a piece, which is not bad for a titanium frame lock that's already anode and pimped, you know, that's very, very competitive. Very competitive. You know, the best tech knives, 200. The Wii knives, 250. So, wow. Yeah. And for what they're doing here and the things they're thinking about, I really like it. Take care. Thanks for coming by. Appreciate you hanging out with me. I do appreciate your support for my channel and all the wonderful things you guys do. Because you know what we do around here. We love them knives, so stay sharp.